Hello, good evening. My name is Ali Asgar. This is today our presentation, Case Study 01 GDP and SME. This is our strategy at GDP growth and poverty elevation in Ethiopia. This is our group member. This is our group members. We present this presentation. I will explain the introduction of this slide. With an estimated population of 126.5 million in 2023, Ethiopia is Africa's second most populated nation, is still in early phase of its demographic transition. A very young age structure population nation and is still the early phase of its demographic transition. A very young age structure offers a potential provided the economy can generate enough skilled jobs Otherwise, the same demographic weight risk higher unemployment and social strain. Recent growth, driven largely by public investment and infrastructure and construction, illustrate the country's lenient potential but also reveals fragility. Unless productivity gains from the private sector materialistic, the investment-led model will prove unsustainability. Poverty trends further expose the problem. Even during the country's high growth spell, the national poverty head count fell only until 2016. Thereafter, it climbed from 27% to 32% by 2021, demonstrating the growth has not been sufficient for meeting the government aspiration of lower middle income status by 2025. Therefore, it demands a strategic shift towards productivity-based inclusive growth and the open opportunity across regions and social groups breaks the middle income trap cycle and transforms the economic structure from agriculture dominant to one where industry and services become leading engines. This is the data abstract to do GDP growth. Persistent political instability and periodic internal conflict divert scarce official resources to the security and humanitarian assistance, destroy physical and social capital, demolish investor confidence. Compounding these erratic economic policies and extensive state ownership make Ethiopia's business climate unpredictable, firm face frequent regulatory reverse, soft budget concentrate for state enterprise. Crowding out of private initiative, financial markets remain shallow. Only 15.8% of formal enterprises can access bank credit, meaning working capital needs, technology upgrades, and expansion plans of SMEs remains largely unfunded. Infrastructure gaps, especially in reliable in electric in electricity, transport, logistics, and digital complexity, rise operating costs, and limit firms' access to the domestic and export markets. Microeconomic instability manifested and double-digit inflation led by volatile food prices further erodes households' purchasing power, complicates business planning, and discourages saving. Together, these factors.
Hi, my name is Rubina Ashfaq and I will discuss about the following topic. First, data, social economic challenge. Agriculture still employs the majority of Ethiopian and it is overwhelmingly rain-fed living rural livelihood exposed to increasingly erratic climate pattern. Drought and flood thus trigger sharp output swing, undermine food security and propagate micro-level volatility. The World Bank Human Capital Index assigned Ethiopia a score of 0.38, indicating that a child born today will realize just 38% of his and her potential productivity if current education and health condition persist. Learning poverty stand at a staggering 90%, while 37% of children under 5 are stunned to condition that permanently reduce cognitive capacity and further earning. Each year, roughly 2 million young Ethiopians enter to rising underemployment, and migrate pressure. Food insecurity has worsened. More than 20 million citizens and migrate needed assistance in 2023 owing a combination of weather shock, conflict, displacement, and high food prices. These intertwined social economic constraints depress aggregate demand, restrict supply responsiveness, and limit the country's ability to leverage into demographic gift. Data SME development challenge. Small and medium enterprise that ought to be the pillar of creation of employment and other split have great barrier in a way. The lack of good road and logistic network and cold chain and warehousing along with the limited supply of high speed intensive service restrict market reach at least to rural or peri-urban companies. There is a strong skill misfit. There is a more of technical compensate and marginal skill required to the manufacturing and modern service that can be produced by a school and training institute. The offered mentioned opaque and cumbersome regulation as well as a burdensome bureaucracy wastes the time of interpretation and leaves a room to rent as burdensome bureaucracy. The waste limit of interference and leave room to rent seeking, which create a disproportionate negative effect on a small firm with no specialized compliance personnel. And the information asymmetry implied that the most SMEs cannot have the access to timely market intelligence, a consultancy or advisory service that can assist in their stratifying, innovating, and scaling. Data historical poverty elevation effect. Ethiopia first formal poverty reduction strategy a paper in 2002 developed with IMF and the World Bank support central on boosting smallholder agriculture and delaying safety net program between 2004 and 2016. These effects supported by improved needs, fertilizer destruction, rural road, and the flashing protecting safety net program help lower the headcount poverty rate from 39% to 24%. Most of the gains stemmed from higher agriculture output and better farm gate prices, yet progress proved fragile. Subsequent conflict, micro imbalance, and the climate shock reversed the part of advance, pushing poverty back above 30%. The
This is Jawad Ali. My ID is 23121 and I'll be going through the analysis, macroeconomics, stability, and governance institutional theory. So the stabilizing the macro framework begins with the constituting exchange rate liberalization so that the official rate coverage with the parallel market, improving foreign exchange allocation and restoring credible price signals. Complementary disciplinary monetary and fiscal stances are required to arrest double-digit inflations. The central bank must contain money supply growth while the Treasury runs into the deficit financing. Ethiopia's elevated public debt depreciation mean that the proactive engagement in debt services regulations and common framework treatment could free fiscal space for infrastructure and social spending. Beyond technical fixes, durable growth rests on the political stability, institutionalizing peacefully conflict resolution mechanisms, and nationwide dialogue reduces investor uncertainty and prevent resource shaping violence. Streamlined licensing, transparent procurement, and rigorous anti-corruption enforcements lower transaction costs and curb rent seeking. Collectively, these reforms align with new institutional economics insights, the credible, predictable rules, reduce uncertainty, channel capital into product activity, and thereby raise long-run growth potential. So we'll be going to the slide number 8. It's analyzes private sector development and infrastructure. It's growth theory. So unlocking faster productivity growth entails shifting the state's role from primary economics to actor to enabling regulator accelerated yet transparent provisions of selected state-owned enterprises can inject operational efficiency and attract managerial know-how, provide competitive safeguards are instituted to avoid private monopolies. Policies that actively court domestic investors and quality foreign direct investments through tax certainty, property rights protection, and streamline one-stop services can enlarge the capital base and trigger technology spillovers. Addressing hard infrastructures deficit remain pivotal. A diversified energy mix that couples hydropower with solar and the geothermal capacity will support industrial parks and digital services providers alike. Upgrading the trunk road will link and logistic corridors will lower the trade cost, connect surplus producing regions with urban markets, and facilitate participations in regional value chains. Expanding the affordable high-speed internet coverage unlocks e-commerce, digital finance penetrations, and remote services exports in the economic geographical terms. Such connectivity infrastructure promotes economies, regional specializations, and ultimately higher total factory products. For Ethiopia to harness its demographic dividends, robust investments in human capital is indispensable. Quality improvements across the education system, from early grade literacy program through the literacy stream, curricula, and flexible technical vocational pathways are needed to close the 90% learning poverty gap and supply industry with adoptable talent. Parallel enhancement in primary healthcare, maternal nutrition, and water sanitation services will reduce the stubborn 37% child stunting rate, boosting cognitive development and lifetime earning. Agriculture remains critical yet must evolve towards climate smart, market oriented, and productions. Public private support for improved seed varieties, small scale irrigation, digital extension, and secure land yields while leasing the environmental stress. Light manufacturing clusters within industrial parks can then absorb labor released from the agriculture, diversifying exports and mitigating the rural underemployment. Tourism anchored in Ethiopia's rich culture, heritage, and natural landscapes present as additional high value sector once infrastructure, service standards, and the international marketing are upgraded. Together, uh, these sectors' priorities chart a path of structural transformations in which higher productivity activities steadily increase their share of GDP and employment, allowing Ethiopia to approach its lower middle income ambitions while reducing poverty on the sustainable basis. To the next person, please.
Now I would like to uh, describe the proposed government actions and its integrated policy framework. The Ethiopian government policy framework consists on some of the main factors, which include the political stability, which is definitely is the main requirement for any country to enhance its GDP and to put its economy on a positive side, and small and medium enterprises finance, education and industry partnership. The academia and industry relationship is a main factor which plays a crucial role in the development of the economy, and the infrastructure development and the regulatory reforms. The proposed government actions uh, which are sector specific. The government of Ethiopia is focusing different main sectors such as agro processing, tourism, manufacturing, and digital economy. Uh, these are the key main factors and key main sectors of its economy that the Ethiopian government is investing. In the agro processing, they are uh, incentivize the SMEs to invest in processing equipments and trying to equip with the agro processing with the latest technology and the latest supply chain models. And they're also promoting the tourism and also offering the cheap flights through its Ethiopian Airlines, which is known as one of the best Africa's airline. And the manufacturing units, they are developing manufacturing units, and also they're digitizing their economy. And in this way, they are pushing their banking sector to be more digital than ever. Uh, in this process, the government of Ethiopia is focusing on the successful SME finance model, and in this way, they are focusing to get as maximum credit from the World Bank, IMF, and other financing agencies. Like the credit line with the World Bank in 2022 was $500 million, and which includes also the some private sector financing, which was $1.9 billion, and the Jordan credit lines, World Bank Group lines, it's microfinance and push up with the $120 million in the year 2022. Uh, the successful small and medium enterprises finance models of the Ethiopian government based on the different main pillars, which includes the OECD policies. They're enhancing the small and medium enterprises productivity. They're creating innovation, and they're offering the free access to the market, the global training, and they are also inviting the skilled labor and the trainers from all around the world so that they can play a crucial role in their economy. Uh, Also, they are simplifying the business frameworks. They're also opting the EC approach, and one of the main thing they are following the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals program, which is specifically designed for the Africa's development. The applicability of SME models to Ethiopia opportunities, like they are digitizing their entire economy, and they're targeting finance. They're innovating in their IT sector, in their telecom sector, and they're uh, providing the digital platforms, the businesses support, and the incentives in this regard. Uh, there, uh, the incentives includes minimum tax rates, establishing incubators, and adopting digital lendings so that uh, they can perform well with the minimum resources and the minimum cost, so that they can earn more profit and generate more jobs and working opportunities in the Ethiopia. However, all these programs are also facing some of the most crucial challenges, as already Rubina discussed, which one of the main is the political instability. As the government is not politically hold the entire geographical area due to some of the uh, militias are in some of the in their side countryside groups. So the political instability is one of the main hurdle in the GDP growth. The bureaucracy. Uh, there are some issues like such as the corruption, compatibility, and this kind of stuff in the bureaucracy also slow down the speed of the government. The infrastructure gaps. As the government is creating the economic zones. However, there are so much need for the more and more infrastructure so that the business activities can be performed. And also, the Ethiopian government is facing the low skilled workforce. So in this regard, they are opting these challenges by acquiring the trainers from all around the world so that they can train their local presentation. And here are some references that we have used for this study.